Cindy had asked if people wanted to say a few words about Roger and to Roger. Russell and I both wrote some things separately. Russ wrote a poem, and I wrote a piece that was not poetry. We shared them earlier today, and I said, you know, same stuff. Russ is better. And so the way it's going to play out is I've got a couple things I'm going to share, pieces from what I had written, and then Russ is going to share a poem that he wrote, and then I believe Ken is going to share something from Roger's co-workers. And if anybody else has anything they would like to share, they can certainly do that as well. But I think it's probably, I want to do a couple of things if we can. First of all, Roger, you are sort of moving to another level here. And maybe it'd be appropriate you could just come and sit here. I think it's the thing you need to do. We've been kind enough to sit here, Roger.
Come on, get on up. Come on, dude.
I think we can put a trolling motor on it.
Drag a couple of lines, I'll be happy with that.
Oh, you bet.
Okay. That's a nice one. Now be careful there now. Okay. I've got a couple of things. I didn't memorize these, so I wrote some stuff. I'm going to read it actually. I actually wrote quite a lot, and then of course, you realize you can't use all that material. That's way too much. And so I'll do the first page, and then we'll skip, and Russ will do some stuff. September 27th, 1959. A red letter day for some people. Ruth and Robert Commissaris in particular. They had a baby boy born. And in fact, it was a bit of a surprise because Ruth and Bob had a couple of really nice boys already. Yeah. Russell and Randy, they were perfectly happy that this one will be the girl. This will be the girl. Well, you were a disappointment. He was not the girl. And Robin Sue, he was not going to be Robin Sue. They didn't have a boy's name. Okay? And so what do? Ruth and Bob named their new baby after, this is the part I have to actually read, Leonard Franklin Sly. Leonard Franklin Sly. And you look at, wait a minute, where did he get Roger Dale Commissaris on Earth? Leonard Franklin Sly. Okay, well here's the story. Leonard Franklin Sly was an actor in the 1950s. His stage name was Roy Rogers. Maybe it makes a little more sense. Roy Rogers' second wife was also his stage wife, Dale Evans. Of course, Roy Rogers had his Palomino trigger, and his dog Bullets, and all those other friends and stuff. So, Roger Dale Commissaris, the boy who should have been a girl, was named after Roy Rogers and Dale Evans. And of course, Roger Dale is probably better than Trigger or Bullet. There was also, if you remember the show, there was this guy, Pat Brady, sort of the sidekick guy. He had this, like a Jeep kind of thing called Nellie Bell. We could call you Nellie Bell, Roger, if that would work better, but that's where Roger Dale came from. Okay, now what I'm going to do, that's the main part of, I've got a lot of other stuff that I wrote, and much of what I wrote is the same stuff that Russ wrote. I think Russ's his touches on it a little more effectively. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to Russell, so he's going to read his poem, and then we're going to turn the microphone over to Ken briefly, and then we'll come back. So Russell, if you have a phone.
Do I need a phone? I don't even need a phone, but I'll use it.
That's right. I think it works better. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Okay. I wrote a poem called That's Roger. I call Roger Mr. Fixit Man. If you need something fixed, he'll do it if he can. He'll tear it apart, look at all the seals, the bearings, the pulleys, and he'll find out why it squeals. He'll call Mama Reed and tell us what he had to do, and we'll just sit there and listen, but we don't have a clue. At work, he's Ken's main man on the press. When it comes to printing ballots, probably the best. When the elections are done, he's the jack of all trades. He'll paint, fix tractors, and even change wiper blades. Now, when Roger was young, he was quite a trapper. He'd get lots of muskrats and sometimes a snapper. Now, messing with a 30-pound snapping turtle is a crazy thing to do. But he'd bring that sucker home and make it into stew. Now, he has an old cabin up in the UP, and when he gets a chance, up there he will flee. He'll fish or hunt or just hang around or go into Rock, the closest little town. Now, last Thanksgiving, we went up there in the snow with his pickup truck and bald tires. Oh no. He pulled in the cabin and got stuck right away. And the neighbors had to pull us up the very next day. He loves to watch his boys play sports and guitar, and he'll watch them when he can, whether driving near or far. Now, Cindy, Roger's wife, is quite a feisty one. She'll let him know what she thinks needs done. But Roger's not one to scream and argue. He just rolls his eyes and does what he has to. Now, one thing I heard from the Winter Clan is that Roger can get gas. Oh man, oh man. You don't just stand there and make that little noise. And the ones laughing loudest are probably his boys. But that's all really, but all that really means is he just had a head start. Because now that he's 50, he's a true old fart.